Well, doesn't that suck? I lost a video. A video to you in Inmendham. So I've been blocked again, eh? Yeah. Well, this time I'm kind of thankful. Um, I was thinking of my defenses in association of you as with you as someone that has some productive side. I'll stand by all those things in general. But this whole final solution of yours, it's a big turnoff. You know my position on your ultimatums of don't subscribe to this person or I'll unsubscribe or block you. Um, you know my position, so I know you aren't surprised. Um, I watched the Blip TV thing where you were talking about how Blip TV took down your violent rant and threats against John Paul Dorn. Um, hey, I've told him he seems disingenuous, and I've explained the exact circumstances when, and so on and so forth. I might get tired of talking to him as well, but I will decide that. And you don't know what you're talking about. That video was not a matter of free speech. You talk about wanting to squeeze his neck till his head pops off and his eyes pop out, and you're gonna chew his eyeballs and stuff. Yeah, that's not okay. That's violent threats, and then at the end you're like, I think I watched the whole thing was what like an 8.5 hour video, and in the very end you're like, well, this was just for entertainment value because you knew what you'd done. Well, if he is just a troll, because he has some troll effects. I mean, I've told him that as well, and he's overcoming him a little bit, at least in the very latest exchange. Not that I'm not saying it'll last or what. I'm not vouching for him. It's just I'll decide who to talk to. You will not decide. But if he is just a pure troll, he got your good, man. Like you're lucky that thing got taken down. I mean, usually you're just cussing off the top, calling people sexist, maybe inventing clever new terms like Jew Mexican. But that time, yeah, no, you were just like when they had you on the news. I saw somebody had your clip on the news when you're railing against the judge, but you didn't get arrested because you didn't threaten his life. You'd said that shit about the judge that you just said about John Paul Dorn. I think you'd be off YouTube, and even if YouTube reinstated your accounts. So, be that as it may, you go on after that to talk about this great stuff, very insightful about how the Stottles' version of market anarchy, it is just segregation oriented and based on the ideas we can endorse the hate that people have for each other if we just compartmentalize them, put the hate all along the border. Very insightful, but not really worth it. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it anymore. You can have a final solution. I mean, just forget it, and you're going to go off. And how about, you have wasted your channel. And I'm not the kind of guy to tell somebody how to use their channel, but I mean by your standards, the things that are most important to you. You don't want to talk about IRV. Well, me neither. John Paul Dorn is making his whine about that. I'm just like, hey, well, you make them. I'll probably reply if you do. So basically, you and I had the same attitude of, well, I'll spend time on it when I want to. But in Stickum, you're explaining why. Well, I've done it. Nobody's interested in it. Yeah, but they're interested in, I'm going to chew their eyeballs. Yeah, and so that's what you do now. It's a joke. Why? To get a big audience? What good is a big audience if you get it by giving them what they expect? They expect football, Hannah Montana, South Park, Peter Frampton eating people's eyeballs. That's what they want. So you're going to give them that. Good. Good for you. You get a big thing. It better be big enough that you can make a living off of it because you ain't going to change the world for the better that way. So, yeah, I've just about had it enough because I think I figured you out, and right now we're at a level of, to figure out more, I'd have to know more about your particular psychology, and since we're not in this counseling situation exploring that part, uh, what's the point? Especially since, you're off your handle, dude. So you could have made a lot more, you have failed in your channel so far because you have developed the most stupid and ugliest idea that you have. Uh, it went from we shouldn't reproduce because there's overpopulation, right through we should all go into VR, right through voluntary sterilization, and into fuck it, I want to button kill everybody. I mean, fuck you, really, seriously. And to the degree that, like you made that other video to that kid and you're all in your reasonable self, to the degree I know that's in there, screw the part of you that won't let that one be the dominant one. Screw you, the part that won't be the reasonable trying to explain himself one. You know, even the misery stuff can be explained in the sense that everybody says it was bad enough. Whatever, man. You know, if you're not going to focus on your health, your part, you're just going to develop the most ridiculous it's not going to help. It's not going to happen, so it's unrealistic. And it has this dark side you ought to be able to recognize, and you can develop it and share it. But it's like, that's your biggest thing. That's the only one that's changed. You know, IRV is still the same thing. I think we should have it. Hey, well, we could be, you and I could be doing the mathematics of IRV. We could be showing people so that some people would be exposed. How do you think people learn that stuff? It's through conversation, and this is a new media. It's a great media to have explored that stuff. You know, I've been thinking of other things too. I'm just trying to think of things that overlap with you that so that you could understand what I'm talking about. You have a lot of good issues, look, I mean, blah blah. You're not developing those, you know. So yeah, so thanks for blocking me because I was thinking I should unsubscribe, but you know I'm not really ever into that. I have such a natural ignore filter. Like if I'm not that interested because I think whatever, I could just skip it. But you know, this has actually raised to the point of I think you know what I usually don't care about affiliations. I don't care if people think, ooh, you shouldn't be giving time to John Paul Dorn or this or that, or who cares? You know, there's an atheist talking to a theist, that both of them think the other guy is, you know, conflict is value. We see conflict in conversation so that we can, you know, look at the space in between the electricity that goes back and forth, marks out a picture. It's a metaphor for you. So, so, yeah, I don't care about my reputation of an association like that. Anybody worth their salt understands why you have a, a, you know, uh, a I don't know what to call it, a comparison of ideas, you know, mixing where you check these things out, you mix them up, and you know that's just how it's going to work. And of course, it's going to be people uh, that are an opposite of you. I mean, so uh, you know, and you want to think about all about that stuff, and you don't want to think about, hey, I have these other ideas. People aren't that interested. We'll just beat the drumbeat. No, I'll get a big audience. And then what are you going to tell them about our IRV? Because you already know by that process, those aren't the people that want to know it. But whatever. Now I don't have it in my inbox having to do the mental kill file. Um, so yeah, but you're not off. As always, you're not off limits though. Yeah. By the way, I'm really glad that Blip TV has turned on you.